Oh yeah, and I got digits from this Polish chick in Rio. And then I jumped back for the final quarter of the NBA Finals. And all that was before lunch.
Yeah, he's tough. So it starts off with David giving his crush Millie a snow globe as a gift. Walked into the dollar store and saw it for $2.99. Looked at his wallet and almost passed out. Had to use every single penny to buy it. Just for this dude Mark to start hating and take it out her hands. Hey Mark, stop it. This that MJ Watson type timing. Jumping off the rooftop. This is not your movie. Mark throws the snow globe into the frozen lake and pats David on the back. But he took one last look at his wallet and realized he couldn't buy back another one. So he decides to try and go get the globe back. Millie was telling him to chill and Mark was like, hey bro, don't be stupid. As if he ain't the one that took it and sent it flying. Niggas be taking your stuff and then pretending to help you look for it. Bro, you're the reason I'm in this predicament. He's trying to take his time on the ice, picking it up and showing Millie that he's the man, just to vanish under the water, getting dragged under the ice and appearing back in the library, coughing up water, looking around surprised, walking out holding the globe in his hand. He goes home and his dad is already mad, asking him where he's been, getting up and grabbing onto him. He had his wet shoes all up in the house. I'd be mad too. But the crazy part is when he realizes that David was just walking outside in the middle of winter and is soaking wet, his main concern was still the wet shoes. Oh, you fell into a lake. Oh, you walked home freezing cold? What that gotta do with you dirtying up my precious floors? David had to lock himself in his room just for his dad to break in, but luckily he jumped back to the library to escape. First man to figure out how to get past the unskippable cutscene. But that's when he realizes that he can teleport. So he teleported back home and took the opportunity to do the same thing his mom did and leave his father. Packing his bags, taking up $100 and stopping by Millie's place to leave her the snow globe, to let her know that he's perfectly fine. It was just a prank. Starting a new life in a raggedy old hotel room. The dream life of a New Yorker. Rats fighting in the bathroom. The kitchen is also the bedroom and it only costs $2.5K a week. What more can you ask for? David spent his time trying to figure out how to use his powers, getting the hang of his new abilities, and this is my first concern. He's doing all this in broad daylight in one of the most populated parks. There's literally hella people walking in the back over here while he just jumps back over to the rock. I know that when someone trips, you're supposed to just ignore it to make them feel less embarrassed. But best believe, if someone teleports in front of me, he not gonna be able to walk the streets. You think you get to do all that, and I don't? You're out your cotton picking mine. Get back to working a 9 to 5. He even managed to jump to the top of the Empire State Building. So like any normal person, the first thing he did was try to make some money. Went over to the bank and asked the security guard where the bathroom is, using the chance to study the layout. And when the time came, he put on the hood. We don't do no type of hero work around here. Yo, David, save us, please.
I'm sorry, little one.
Please! No! He teleported into the bank bathroom, destroying the place, and then went over to the vault, stealing all the money. And he still couldn't believe it. He's about to be living in luxury. 8 years passed by, and now David is a grown-ass man, living in a penthouse, abusing his powers. Man teleported just to get some out the fridge. Peak laziness. He's just like me. He has every dollar he's ever stolen safe and secure behind a secret wall. He can go to any country he wants as long as he has the location perfectly memorized in his head. Look at him, enjoying life, eating food in the middle of Egypt. But when he gets home after a long hard day of having fun, he looks up to see a black man on the second floor of his apartment. What are you doing in my apartment? You worried about the wrong thing, lil' bro. What type of idiot leaves messages at every place they've robbed? I ain't gonna lie though, one of the notes say, I'll pay you back. He's trolling for the love of the game. He stole that shit and said if I'm lying, I'm flying, just to never give them a dime. David tells Roland to leave and goes to open the door, but can't open it.
Been a while since you used a door, huh?
walking up to him smirking and tasing him. He dropped so quick and it got worse. Roland saw the Ronaldinho highlights, kicked him for the goal, tased him once back to the ground and made bro spaz. Straight breakdancing. David jumped to the top floor, but Roland follows him, tased him again, pushed him off and held him up. I hate y'all jumpers, and threw him off the top to land on the couch. And this is another one of my concerns. Look at how Roland is moving just to eviscerate jumpers. But the thing is, you ask him why he's treating jumpers like this, and he's like these.
Yeah, I just gave you 9,999 years. I ain't have to do that, but fuck it.
What? Imagine having powers and you're getting hunted by people who hate you for being genetically superior. He pulled out a whip to grab the leg, and the only way for David to escape was to teleport to his secret room, cut the wire, grab some money, and teleport to the first place he could think of, which was back at his childhood home. His dad heard the noise and ran up to try and talk to his son, and David was not trying to hear that. He just left. The problem was though that he left all the evidence for Roland, making it easier for them to hunt David. And plus, he wasted no time to go look for Millie. It's like he wanted to be found. He was sitting in the bar where she works but froze up. He didn't know what to do, so he got up to leave but got stopped by Mark, same dude who threw the snow globe onto that lake, putting his hands on the Balenci shirt, saying that he recognizes David. This nigga better take his hand off my Balenci. Hey, I'm not this David person. Yeah, that's me, folded under zero pressure. Mark was being way too flirty with Millie, so David knew what time it was. Punched him in the jaw and then proceeded to go outside. Mark hit him in the ribs, elbow to the back, and had him on the ground. This man in the back was using this opportunity to hold on to his woman. Oh no! Ah! Oh no! Don't worry, I'll protect you. He don't even know what's going on for real. But the only way for David to win was for him to teleport Mark into a bank vault, calling him trash and leaving him there, telling Millie that Mark got scared and ran off. Yeah, the drunk man ran away from the bar, selling alcohol. Anyways, the whole reason for why David came to see Millie was to ask her to come to Rome with him. How do you have all this money? I'm in banking. None of that shit made sense, because anyone in banking would know that they don't have any free time to actually go on vacation. They have nightmares about financial statements and numbers. She ain't want to ask no more questions though, once she heard it was a first-class flight. Next thing you know, they in Rome, standing in front of the hotel. Roland was trying to fool this cop into passing over some information, but he didn't believe that Roland was telling the truth. So he was like, yeah, look at this. Took the file, turned off the cam, and started asking Mark about what happened at the bar. And Mark started snitching. Ain't even have to offer him none. David goes to the Coliseum and sneaks in when he's not supposed to. But the final door to enter the arena is locked off. So he tells Millie to wait while he goes around. But once he gets down there, he sees bro just free balling. Ain't even cross his mind that it was weird for someone else to be there when the place is closed. So he keeps walking and the dude just spawns behind him, explaining that he's also a jumper and that he can't just be going on vacations to Rome because people like Roland called paladins will hunt them down. So once again, I got powers and I can't use them? Have you seen how bad the roads are and the traffic? I'm spamming it, bro. I'm sorry. And you may be like, well, he did rob a bank. Oh, okay. And how do you expect him to pay his bills? Niggas don't do jobs no more. Griffin points and shows the enemies approaching, and David ain't even stick around to find out. He vanished. One tries to attack, but Griffin is an expert with the instant transmission, while David gets grabbed and dragged back down. By the time he got the wire off, they caught him again. Griffin grabbed one and knocked him in a wall and came back to drop the other guy on his face. Even kicked him to make sure he was asleep. This lady saw them though and started screaming, Police! Police! So Griffin grabbed the dude and teleported away, but David followed him through his jump scar to his hidden lair. So like any homeowner, Griffin felt violated. What you doing in my home? And ain't your girl still over in Rome? So once David went back, he tried to run out with Millie. Tell me what's going on. It's fine, just walk. No, it's not fine. Hey you, stop right there. Ah, no speak the Italiano. You were in the Coliseum. No. Yeah, that's him right there. So yeah, he was taken into custody. They're asking him where the body is. He's saying he don't know. In the 5 minutes that it took the lady to snitch, I somehow made the body disappear. Come on, chief. Does that even sound logical? But when he gets up and leaves the room, this lady walks in and closes the door. David got up and started stumbling. The woman left him the key to unlock the cuffs, but David was still struck about the fact that this woman was his mom. She left him when he was 5, came back 20 years later just to give him a key and leave again. I'd be sick. After he escapes, he's now at the airport to send Millie home, but she's still stuck over the fact that David hasn't told her everything. So he shows her the bag full of cash, and she's still asking questions.
Get the fuck out of here, little nigga.
She started crying. Roland had another plan though, so he went over to David's dad's house claiming to be the IRS. Tax season is around the corner. It's almost time. David's dad asked what's going on, but Roland was already annoyed. Man, let me ask the questions. When was the last time you seen your son?
8 years ago.
8 years? I see what type of father you are. Roland had to ask about the mom. Nah, she left when David was 5. 5? But once he saw a picture of her, he recognized her from somewhere. David's dad tells Roland it's time to leave. He'll call if he hears anything. Roland had to close the door. He already knows bro ain't never hitting his line. And when David went back home, he saw his dad laid out sleep. He had to bring him to the hospital and went over to the police station to press Mark about the fact that Roland knew where his dad was. Mark was confused. Was I not supposed to snitch? I ain't get the memo. I'm telling you, bro snitched for no reason too. He's still locked up in a cell. He gained nothing from telling. And now David has to also worry about Millie's safety. I'm still concerned about the fact that there's racism towards superpowered people. Y'all want to kill me and everyone associated with me because I can teleport? So stop using powers and be normal.
That nigga wasn't talking to me. I'm gonna let that be known right now. He was talking to y'all niggas.
David went back to talk to Griffin, who pushed him and told him to chill. Roland is a very dangerous man.
It's
devious even.
To please that booty. Can you dig it?
Let me handle it. But David ain't gonna leave this important stuff in the hands of someone who's been hunting Roland for years. Are you even trying? Just let me help, bruh. So he followed Griffin all the way to Tokyo, asking him if he's down to team up on some Wolverine and Deadpool type timing. But before accepting the offer, Griffin had to show David that there's levels to this jumper shit, showing off the fact that he can even teleport a whole car. He was cutting up in traffic. I saw him in the air. Nah, he's wildin'. Now that they've decided to team up, Griffin lets David know that he needs to go back to school to be able to understand numbers, cause the plane Millie was on landed an hour ago. So he goes over to her apartment, rang the doorbell, and just decided to go through the back door. Rang the doorbell for the fashion. He was entering regardless. She's mad that he left her at the airport in Rome, so he apologizes, but she's still mad and tells him to leave. Nigga, what? He has powers, is being hunted by paladins who want to kill him just because he has powers. They could care less about the fact that he was robbing banks. But because he can wake up and just appear at work without having to worry about being late, they want him gone. And she's mad because he came back into her life, told her to take a day off from being a bartender and hop on a first-class flight to Rome, and sent her back first class. But because he wasn't next to her on the plane, there's a problem. I should just let the paladins take it. David checks outside and sees them pull up. So now he's really panicking and starts confessing his crimes, telling Millie that he's only technically in banking. He's more like Robin Hood, stealing from the rich and giving back to the less fortunate. Only in this case, the less fortunate is himself, and shows her that he can teleport, grabbing onto her and taking her away to the lair. Roland pulled out the Febreze. Oh yeah, they right here. Using a device to open back up the jump scar. Griffin saw that and was pissed. He had one rule: do not bring anyone to the lair. And in less than an hour, David already broke the rule, brought the whole gang. Roland and his crew appear through the portal and see a whole bunch of drawings of Roland's face. This one literally says that they're gonna kill Roland soon. They even got him looking like a model. Who he feeling like? David gets grabbed and pulled to the ground, and Roland sent him to the corner, put him in timeout. And just when he was about to end him, Griffin pulls out the flamethrower and lights them up. But Roland was ready. Used the whip to grab a hold of Griffin, pulled him close, backhand, elbow, kicked him to the wall, and started walking him down. The hatred is fueling him. Griffin ran in and blasted him outside, had him rolling around in the sand, got tossed and skipped like some rocks. Griffin took the quad and jumped away and came back with a whole bus. Roland was standing there frightened, mouth open, catching flies. He started crouching down like Sun Jing Woo and jumped under the bus to get out the way. Coming out from under the sand, a completely different person, ready to send Millie on a long-term vacation this time. But Griffin stepped in to save her, using the flamethrower to send him back through the portal. Even sent one of the paladins flying out the window, falling to the ground. And he wasn't done there. He sprinted and jumped into the battle, getting flipped over and taken out a knife just to get a whip attached to his neck and thrown through the wall. In the meantime though, Millie cut David down and told him to forget about the fight and take her home first. I ain't even mad at it, but this ain't the time. You see bro getting his ass handed to him, and your main concern is, hey, send me the $100 first before you end up in the hospital. Griffin comes back through the portal with the machine the paladins used to open the portal in the first place. So it's supposed to be over. The jumpers won, but they managed to catch Millie and bring her back with them. Oh damn bro, they're good. So while they're holding her hostage, Griffin's plan is to go back over there and blow the place up.
We have to get her out of there. I can hear you.
Even pointed at his ears. You see them, right? Niggas be screaming, even though I already said yes, I heard you. Bro, I'm still blowing the place up. So David took one of Griffin's prized possessions, his safe, and dropped it, pretending as if it just so happened to slip out of his hands and fell down to the bottom. Griffin felt so disrespected. So when they ended up on top of a pyramid, the first thing he did was kick him, knocked him out, picked him back up, and punched him again. And now it was just David running away with the detonator for the bomb. Look at this. He looked him in the eyes and threw it away. Yo bro. Griffin jumped over, dived down for the remote, and caught it. But David was still there, grabbing onto him, and now David is surrounded by ice and snow with the detonator in his hand. It's like they forgot that they have more important things to deal with now. Or maybe I was mistaken. He really just domed him with a rusty old truck. David ended up launching Griffin into some electrical cords, which prevented him from being able to use his powers. And David jumps back to Millie's apartment, looking through the window, seeing her held up against a wall. And his genius plan was to just enter normally. Professional bank robber, by the way, since he was 15 years old. He saw that no one was there and ain't even question it. When I tell you that he got caught so quick, the only way for him to get out of this situation was for him to jump the apartment into the water and drown the paladins before jumping back where it all started, in the library. And just like a misbehaving child, Millie slapped the shit out of David to wake him up. But Roland came out the woodworks. He means business. He must have immortality. But David dropped him off with a nice view of the Grand Canyon. And now that he has some free time, he went to go visit his mother, who had a whole new family living in a mansion. She left him when he was 5 because that's when he first jumped. And the truth is that she's also a paladin who hunts jumpers. So she had a kid that had superpowers, and instead of still loving him, she left. Is that not crazy?